We were charged with discussing the concept of new medicine with you, and really what new medicine means is old medicine is broke. Broke two ways. It's broke in and it has no money. And the reason is because our technology is advanced to the point that we can help the very sick very well at a very high price. And that system is no longer working.
I think any Western physician has to realize that something is very wrong in our country. We are getting sicker and sicker with less things that we can use to remedy ourselves and things that can be very harmful. The situation is that we are not diagnosing cancer better, we're diagnosing it more. We're suffering from premature aging in our joints and in our heart arteries. In fact, we're the 43rd healthiest country in the world by the World Health Organization. Japan is number one, and that reason is they spend the vast majority of the healthcare dollars on prevention. And that's what we need to focus on, prevention, not intervention.
When I was in training for pain management, I was instructed that a good result was if we could get rid of approximately half of somebody's problem. That was our optimal result. That leaves a lot to be desired. I've seen many people use these products and get much more than half of their problem to feel better. That's a wonderful result.
I'm a solo practitioner. I own my own practice, and I enjoy the freedom of owning my own practice, and that means a lot to me. And I'm losing my freedom. And there's going to come a time down the road where I will probably be forced to sell my practice and to be an employee of someone else. So I don't want to give up my freedom. And when I looked at this opportunity, I decided to be proactive rather than reactive, to create options for myself for the future.
Medicine is changing. It's a paradigm shift in terms of disease treatment to disease prevention. The opportunity doctors had 20 years ago treating disease is the opportunity we have in Nikken preventing disease. The magnitude of what they did is the magnitude of what we can do now.
We are in the midst of a new era of medicine. And this medicine has to do with health. It has to do with optimizing the things we have and living as well as we can.
The American Journal of Pain Management came out with an article. Then it was a small study. But in there was an opinion letter. And in that opinion letter, they made notification that the onset of preventive health care is the wave of the future.
These products are absolutely an improvement over anything we do in traditional medicine.
If these products and this technology had been presented to us through allopathic medicine, through traditional medicine, these technologies would be hailed as the greatest miracle in modern medicine today.
I had a skeptical mother who was concerned about what her son was doing with these types of products. And she went in with an attitude that I'm going to prove that my son is wrong about this. She had an 8-year problem with severe head discomfort, was on pain medicine, she'd had 2 sinus surgeries, and no one in the New York metropolitan area could help her. And after a week on these products, completely changed her life. And she went from a woman who was in bed 5 days a week to someone who was out walking 3 miles a day.
My wife had a very severe accident and was involved in the point where after a year of having her back worked on by 2 of my partners who are pain specialists, I'm in the Department of Anesthesia, and then after that having other types of medicines causing problems, including having to have more medicines to take care of the medicines, she resolved to basically sit and just suffer. Within 10 days of using the products, I watched my wife have 80% recovery, and over the next 30 to 60 days have 100% recovery. Her life was given back to her. I looked around and realized as a physician, I had a moral consciousness not only to embrace these, but then to go out and carry the banner.
I had a challenge of trying to sleep through the night. In my job, I get a lot of emergency calls. I get a lot of calls about all kinds of critical problems through the night. And after I got a phone call, I could lay awake anywhere from 30 minutes to several hours. I couldn't fall back asleep. And that was a real problem. I do a lot of very technical, high-stress work during the day, and I need to be sharp. I got a sleep system. First night I was on that sleep system, I slept through the night. Didn't hear the phone ring at all. Missed all the calls. But seriously, now when I get a phone call, I talk on the phone, I do what I need to do, I close my eyes, I go back to sleep. 5-10 minutes, I'm out.
I initially looked at this because my husband and I had a product experience. I didn't really believe it when it happened to me, though. I only really believed it when I saw it start happening to many of the patients in my practice where I utilized these products. Because of what I do, I've seen many people that have fallen through the cracks of traditional medicine and haven't gotten better.
In practice as a chiropractor, there's a lot of patients that come in with a lot of spinal complaints. A lot of them, when you're working on them, they're like working on a brick wall. And since using, especially the rollouts, they come in just after 5 or 10 minutes with the use of this technology, giving a rollout, they move like Rice Krispies.
A nurse in my office was having steroid injections in her elbow for discomfort on a regular basis, and I gave her one of the credit card size promo pad, asked her to wear that for the weekend, and I thought it wasn't going to work. This was really before I became involved. And she came back on Monday and said, I don't care what this costs, you're not getting it back. She has not had a steroid injection since then.
Dr. Wayne Anderson and Lori introduced Nikken to me. I was very intrigued. I wanted to feel better, and I was thinking it would be great if I could find something that would help so many patients where medicine and surgery had nothing to offer. So when I first got my products, I didn't have an immediate response, but eventually had tremendous response. I slept better, I had more energy, I had a much brighter outlook on things. I wear mag steps every day, and my legs didn't ache at the end of the day after being on them for 14 hours. In fact, I say my feet never leave home without them. And then I started using them on my patients. And I started kind of experimenting with people that I've taken care of for the last 10, 11 years, some of my toughest ones, seeing tremendous results where we've tried everything and nothing helped. And frankly, I've had some product experiences that have been nothing short of miraculous. Some patients have had their lives turned around 180 degrees. And another real plus that evolved with my Nikken experience has been that not only could I offer them something to make them feel better, but I've listened to their financial woes all the time. I know everything about them, and now it's here's something that this too you can use to improve that aspect of your lives as well.
Athletes are willing to do anything. They're willing to do anything that will help them perform better, increase their range of motion, increase their performance levels. It's nice to be able to get an athlete back in the game the same day they're injured, and this technology has done that. Every athlete that I've worked with has had an experience with this technology. Usually within 1 week, they're completely back on the field.
I've used these products with hundreds and hundreds of patients with what I think are near miraculous results in many cases, often with people where I had nothing to offer them in standard medicine.